Nature's changed in my lifetime. I mean, deers, you occasionally saw deer on farm when I was a kid. You never saw a buzzard, you never saw a red kite, you never saw an otter. And these, well, deers have just bred and bred and bred, where they are becoming a little bit of an issue. They are starting to graze some of our crops, so there is a lad coming at winter time to take a few out, such as your red kites and buzzards. Though they were about, and they've been reintroduced and absolutely exploded in their population. Egrets, them white heron type birds, you never saw them up as far north as this, and now they're a very common sight. Badgers, we have, I mean, everybody's got a set on their farm, but we've always had a set, and we always used to keep it very, very hush-hush, because at badger baiters now there's bloody sets all over. On every farm, you know, they're a common sight. Our Abby watches one comes to her little pond near her cabin nightly for a drink, you know, and it's like, Christ almighty, it's just like how things changed. And then other species are in decline. They reckon curlews were in decline, but we've got loads of curlews on our grasses at Latham. Plovers, or lapwings, peewits, whatever you want to call them, they were in decline, but they're very, very common now. And I think the SFI programs and the stewardship of one thing and another has improved their nesting habits. But as in deer, Christ, we've got loads. But there is a lad comes and culls a few, so we're okay. Grass has baked off again. We got 40 mil of rain, and it really picked up, but there's going to be very, very little second cut. In fact, I think we'll be turning these onto the rest of it soon, or even keeping it split. There's another two deers like down there, look. Keeping these, or we'll maybe be weaning our calves onto this and get rid of Django, get rid of big fella, send him home. Daily routine, just bring them a bit of barley, like I've told you before, just so, because I mean there was a few out other day and they did follow the bag to come back in, and it's just like peace of mind that you've got them trained to come home. But Christ, there's no shortage of food here, by looks of him. I mean, they're getting a tiny bit of barley every other 3 days, every other day or every 3 days. And the grass there must be loads of grass, because they're as fat as seals, aren't they? Hello, big fella. Yeah, there's always a couple what stand back, and they're the last 4 what came in from Dave's. They're not interested in barley. Occasionally they come for a sniff, but not interested at all. Well, all man, they're as keen as mustard, like. Yeah, so daily routine, well, we like to look at them every day, make sure they aren't knocked tank over or out like that. And every sort of other day I come for a real good walk through them, make sure nothing's lame, no eyes no eye problems, no health problems in general, make sure everything's okay. Battery's pretty wick, plenty of minerals, you know, they're getting plenty of minerals at the moment. They're getting a garlic lick to keep flies off them, they're getting a high magnesium lick because they're in calf. Well, hopefully they're in calf. I ain't seen no action. He was as keen as mustard when we first put him in. And I ain't seen no action lately anyway. Occasionally you see him curling his lip, but and then they've got a general purpose lick. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with them really. Let's just hope the cows aren't very big. We'll have to be very, very careful not to overfeed them in that last 2 months at gestation period. Let's hope he doesn't sort of throw massive calves, because we haven't tested him. He was just like pot luck. And I hope we haven't created ourselves a lot of problems, but time will tell on that one. Morning, it's Monday the 4th of August and the forecast is horrendous. More north of us, up in Scotch borders and onto north of Scotland, could see 80-90 mile an hour wind, which is quite fierce to be fair at this time of year, so good luck with that. But yeah, it's starting to get a bit blustery here to be fair. So yeah, I've just bought these, just a bag of barley to sort of make sure everybody's okay. If you've got any sort of stragglers behind what don't come in or don't even attempt to get up, you know there's something wrong with them. We've had a little bit of bother with feet, with fowl. In fact, she might be just starting to suffer. Hey up. Hello. There's some mighty fine calves though. This bullock calf, Christ. He looks very promising, doesn't he? By the time he's got another year on him and he's coming in from grass, he'll be a big lad. And there's some beautiful heifers, whether we're keeping them or whether we're selling them, I don't know, I ain't decided yet. But yeah, some big structures to fill with beef, isn't there? Some seriously big. Like that one with little arms, by the time that's grown and filled with beef, it's going to be a fair thing, isn't it? These three, but there always is one what's very coy about coming in. It just I don't know. Yeah, it's getting quite blustery. You're all right. That one's never been the same since we took tips off its horns, to be fair. Get back. We've got sexy fingers on big tractors today. In fact, you're right, John. It's windy, isn't it? Sorry if this is nearly inaudible. Is that the word? Inaudible. Inaudible. We're going to edge a bit of shelter. Be making it work in here because there's some horrible land in here, some real heavy horrible clay. And to be fair, the heavy horrible clay this last time didn't yield much at all. The nicer land, it was like heavyweight, but the real heavy clay, it was drilled very late and it was too late and it flooded off, to be fair. And it was a crappy seed bed and there was a bit of slug damage and it just didn't get a go, so we're working it up and hopefully get it's off in with second week, sort of that third, fourth week in September. That last week in September I would want this drilled and then well established before the weather breaks. Well, the weather might have broke by then, but it's working is that bitch today. It's a very economical tractor unless it is working like that, and then she's a thirsty bitch. Yeah, we've had just a little bit of breeze, but apparently I've just listened to headlines in Pickle, and it's been horrendous in Scotland, hasn't it? I suppose he's fair motoring now. We're doing probably 6k, 6 to 7k. Our oilseed rape's just coming out, and there's no sign of flea beetle yet. Well, not last year because we missed last year, but year before, at that stage, there'd just be half that leaf missing at that stage, and then next minute it'd be gone, totally decimated. There was nothing yesterday. It's unbelievable. Well, I looked at about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, so in like 17 hours that's happened. So they've all poked through, and I think tomorrow there'll be you won't have to search for them, they'll just be there, and let's hope there's no evidence of flea beetle tomorrow. See, look, yeah, not a thing at minute. For the final time, we've just got some spring oats to clean up this afternoon. 2 fields very fit, 1 field not so fit, but whether we make them go or just leave the combine there for a day or 2, we'll see. But it's the last time we're leaving base, and I'm glad to be honest. It's been a very short harvest, but a very poor harvest, and it's time to work a bit of land and get stuff, make a plan for next year really. Spring oats, I don't know, we're using them as a bit of a break crop, but Christ, they take some flogging, don't they? Oh, want some wheat and barley, you can sell any day of week. Oats, and I don't know why really, because they are bad feed. I think we're going to end up milling a lot for our Herefords, to be honest. I've just been mucksburying this morning, it's sort of quite comical what we saw. We saw a lady and a man walking by a field, and the wind was going their way, and it was only cattle, so not strong. With her hanky over her face. Christ almighty, our people lame nowadays. You know, Christ, I live in a rural area, it's bound to stink now and again. Well, other rural areas, because I don't class this as a rural area, our local... Jumping bloody thing. local village is called Beilby. And as a kid we knew everybody. You know, there used to be a gang of us on our bikes terrorising the village. Well, I won't say there used to be a gang of us on bikes riding up and down village, and we knew most people. And to be fair, you couldn't really get into bother because there was always someone to sort of shout at you and clip your lug. And he never went home and said so-and-so's really shouting at me because your dad had shouted at you and all. And yeah, we know nobody in our local village. Strangers, all outsiders, all in little places with a few outbuildings and a paddock or two. What farm lads used to farm. They've all gone at high money, haven't they? Oh. Right, just get the moisture meter. Looking very promising, our spring oats, especially in this field. Maybe not as thick in that field. This field they look magnificent, but the straw's a little bit green. We should have rounded up some off maybe. So whether we leave a bit in the straw, or whether our class combine though, or I think class combines in general don't make a real good sample of spring oats. He's away. Get a straw in round bales because cows love it, and it'll just be perfect feed before the calve, you know, not too many nutrients in it. In fact, we'll probably put a bit of Loch Lomond Gold on it to make it more appetizing, and there'll be enough feed value in what we give them and up until the calve, and then they get the best of silage. Right, I'll have a look in the swath. Bad at all, but if you see, we've had some terrible storms. Look at the oats on the floor. You know, they're starting to shed, so they just won't gathering up. There's our crate guns. Pretty good start. They're fairly clean sample, clean enough to go to milling anyway. And he's had one times round at a 10 acre, and he had a pretty much full tank. It was lights were on coming up here, so by the time he got here it was about full, which is very good, but they are light. I mean, where we get 16 tonne of wheat in this trailer, we'll probably get about 11 of oats, 11 and a half if they're very high bushels. These are some Herefords among some Continentals. They're a bit. They've got a lot of growing to do yet, but a bit of belly on them, whether it's this rough hard grass they're among and they're into a lot of it, but actually everything's in good condition to say there isn't a lot of grub at all. Harvest 25 is nearly over. He's just come into his last field. There's 25 acre of oats, which aren't brilliant. We've just done 2 brilliant fields of oats, and anyway, this is going to let the average down. But the quality's fairly good, so hopefully they make milling. But they aren't really ready. But all this windy weather is knocking them, knocking the oats out of the ears into the floor. There's a lot on the floor, so we just decided do or die sort of thing. But there's all sorts of action in the area. There's a, oh, you can't see, you can see trailer, but combine's gone behind wood up there. I think that's a John Deere combine up there. There's a lad with a Fergie tractor, and it looks like a coon baler behind him, baling straw down there, I presume spring barley. And then other side of the hill, which I'll show you in a minute, there's a big New Holland rotary on demo for our neighbour. He's watering his taties, his Nico. They're baling, the leading bales. I think they've got their own combine going, so they're sort of making on while the sun shines, because it's quite a beautiful, sunny, brisk afternoon. But this is Phil's last trailer load for the day, because the weather forecast is good and there's no point in busting a gut. It's 6 o'clock and all my lot are sat in my garden drinking beer. So and all he's up at Barham's. He's up at he's gone driving their baler for a few days, so he's buggered off up there. So I'm sitting in our garden with Daniel. So right, if you like this channel, like and subscribe to, it don't cost you now to subscribe neither. I don't know how you do it on your tellies. I think you go, anyway, I don't know how you do it on your telly, but subscribe and then you get notifications how else we do. Or it'll come up on the favourites. So that, right, from a rough hard farm in East Yorkshire, what's just about tomorrow afternoon, well, yeah, tomorrow afternoon, finish harvest. Bye for now.